Hi guys. Long time no hear from. Yeah, I know. So, how's everybody doing? I hope things are going well for you and yours. We're doing fine. Well, as good as can be expected under the circumstance. And yeah, I said we. My Herbie's been home for a little while now. And some of you have noticed that I haven't been online. And we're just enjoying each other's company, getting used to this new normal because our schedule has completely changed. I mean, it was completely blown out of the water. We're now at a situation to where we could find ourselves going to bed at anywhere from 1 to 3 in the morning sometimes. I mean, before there was a schedule. He went to work, things were done at a certain time, and anyway, I guess this is what our new normal is going to be for a while until we find our groove. It is such a relief to have him home. It is such a relief to have him home, to be able to just reach out and touch him and he's there, you know? Okay, the main reason for this video is about side effects. Side effects from the covert. Yeah. And there are side effects. Stuff we had no idea about. But then again, everybody is OJTing on this covert thing. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, a little quick recap, time frame. My Herbert is a Texas Department of Corrections officer. He's a prison guard. And he was infected at the unit. Because when it hit that unit, I mean, it was like wildfire when the covert was introduced into that unit. And a lot of guys got sick, and we lost a few guards and a couple of inmates. But I guess everybody is being affected one way or the other. We pray for the families that have lost loved ones because of this covert. Really quick recap as far as time frame goes. My Herbert was tested positive at work on the 22nd of June. Yes, 22nd of June. By the 26th of June is when I took him to the emergency room. And he was, I mean, it happened so quick. It was like he was walking around on the 25th. By the 26th, he could hardly catch his breath. He could hardly walk around. It took everything in him, just going from the car to the door of the emergency room to get to the desk to register. He didn't come out of the hospital until July 14th. So yeah, he was in there for a good stint of time. Now, here's where the fun part came in for us. It took me forever to be able to find a place during that time to get tested. Every place I called, it was filled up. I mean, it was soon, like as soon as it was announced that there was testing, it was closed out because all the positions were taken. I finally found a place on the 6th of July. Didn't get my results back until the 12th of July. And that's when I tested positive for the covert, which was 2 days before my Herbie was being released from the hospital, which basically threw me into a tizzy, trying to figure out what we were going to do. Thankfully, Herbie's warden was nice enough to let Herb stay in the BOQ. That's the bachelor officer's quarters. And he stayed in the BOQ until the August 26th. The reason why he was in there for so long was because I had to test 2 times with a negative result before he could come home, before it was safe for him to come home. And like I said, it was hard finding places to get tested here in Houston. And when I finally did get them, I snatched it up as quick as I could. Now, once I finally tested negative, that's when the hurricanes started coming in. Remember the hurricane Laura and Marco doing the little dance out in the Gulf? Yeah. Herb was on oxygen and he needed power for his oxygen machine. And we were out of here by the 27th because we lived in a section of town that when storms like that come through, the power is the first thing that gets cut out. And we tend to flood and we can't get out of here. So I didn't want that headache. He didn't want that headache. So we ended up driving towards San Antonio. And at first we were going to stay at a hotel, but then we started thinking about it and who was in there before us and with him and his lungs. And let's just say I did the mother hen thing a little bit too much. I might have been a pain in the butt. I don't know. But I was wanting to really protect him. And so we ended up, believe it or not, camping out at a Buc-ee's. You know, just a little ways out of San Antonio, there's a Buc-ee's. And we like Buc-ee's. And oddly enough, well, not really oddly enough, but there were several other cars there that left the Houston metro area. And they camped out there as well. So we camped out there for a good couple of hours. Majority took a nap or two. And we ended up heading back. But, yeah, that was sort of the excitement of getting Herbert home. And it was enjoyable, a little cramped, but enjoyable. Now, as far as the side effects, yeah. One thing we have found out with this covert, and this is Herbert and I, one thing we have found out is that if you have ailments prior to the covert, that the covert can cause them to flare up in different ways. Now, Herbert has had tendinitis, well, still has tendinitis, and that's the ringing in your ears. Well, now it's to a point to where the ringing is louder and his equilibrium is kind of screwed up and he runs into walls. topples over. He can't shake his head because he will topple over. It seems as though that he was a fall risk in the hospital. So he's still a fall risk, which is a side effect from the covert. I talked about the scarring, the ringing in his ears, shortness of breath. Yeah. He's got the dizziness, the vertigo, that also, which is, I just kind of have to mother hen him for a while. You know, how long of a while? No one can say. No one can say. But, like I said, he's up and around, he's doing. And I kind of let him do whatever he wants to do or what he is able to do. Yesterday, he washed down the sliding glass doors. After he was done, he had to sit down. It took that much out of him. Now, today is October 3rd, 2020. And it's a very important day because it's my Herbert's birthday. And I got to tell you, when he went into the hospital, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to see this day. I really wasn't. And I am so glad that with your prayers and well wishes and positive energy, we were able to share this day together. Now, there were some things that both Herbert and I experienced. Oh, I forgot. The things that happened to me. Now, Herbert ended up in the hospital. I was asymptomatic. Just because you're asymptomatic does not mean you won't have side effects. Does not mean you will not be affected by this covert. What happens to me? My taste and smell left. When I say left, I mean it was gone. Literally, it was gone. I couldn't smell anything. I couldn't taste anything. It was so bad. And I didn't realize how messed up my system was until one day I was just absent-mindedly doing something and I stuck my finger in my mouth. And when I stuck my finger in my mouth, it was, the first thing I heard in my head was, don't touch your face, don't do, keep your hands away from your face and all this other stuff. And I just looked up and it was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go rinse my mouth. So I went and rinsed my mouth with Listerine. After I did that, I started thinking, virus, Listerine, nasal passages, throat, the whole thing. Maybe I ought to go and take a shot of vodka. Yeah, take a shot of vodka. Why? Because it would clear out everything, from the mouth all the way down. That was my logic at the time. Well, I took that shot of vodka. Smirnoff, to be exact. The thing of it is I took that shot and I did not react to it at all. Now, anybody who has ever drank liquor knows how strong liquors are. And you normally will have some kind of a reaction when you drink it straight. I had no reaction. It was like I was drinking water. I mean, all of this was messed up. And yeah, that kind of took me back a little bit because I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And it was a covert. I talked to my doctor, and she said that that was interesting. And she wrote it down in my chart. Called her back. She asked me to call her back a couple of days later to make absolutely sure that everything was okay. After I took that first shot, I think I waited about a day and a half, and went to see if it would happen again. And fortunately enough, I actually felt it go down the second time. And I did have a little bit of a reaction, but nothing like I did when I first took a shot of vodka the first go around. I mean, I couldn't catch my breath to save my life, you know? I mean, anyway, that was something. That was something. I am fortunate enough that my taste is starting to come back. The sense of smell is starting to come back. I have to be real careful when I spray things around because Herbert's lungs and my lack of sensing are like two ends of the spectrum. So he's sensitive to different types of sprays and things of that nature because of his lungs. Also, we found out that old injuries. Now, this is something that was really weird. And it happened to both of us. So it's not just, me talking off the top of my head. It happened to the both of us. Old injuries seem to come back alive. And what I mean by that is while Herbert was in the Army, he was boxing and cracked his wrist. Well, he wore a cast for a while. And every once in a while, it would kind of bother him a little bit. It's kind of like when your bones start reacting to the weather and that type of thing. Well, a couple of days ago, that wrist, it did a lot more than just bothered him a little bit. It swole up. I had been in a car accident a while back, and I messed up my ankles. And both of my ankles swole up bad, and it was the same types of pain, or I should say not really pain, but it was uncomfortable. I could walk around, but it was uncomfortable. I also had a gash in my arm that bled a lot during because of that accident. And to feel it right now, it feels like my arm. But underneath, the scar felt hard, and it hadn't felt that kind of hard before, like back when I had the accident. And that kind of surprised us both. Now, another side effect is we lost a lot of weight. Herbert didn't want to eat. Me, I hardly ever ate, and I just thought because Herbert wasn't home, I normally don't eat a lot. But again, it was because of the covert. Sometimes we'll have memory fog, but it doesn't last very long. sometimes both of us, our vision is a bit blurry, and it takes a little while to kind of get it back, which is a rather interesting feeling, tell you the truth. Oh, let me see. One of the things that we definitely are both going through is hair thinning. Yeah, hair thinning. Now, I went to the, what is it, MedMD? I think that's the website, MedMD. And looked up the whole thing about losing hair and whatnot. MedMD basically said, like, if you lost a lot of weight, like overnight, which Herbert and I did, that can cause you to lose hair. Stress can cause you to lose hair. What else was it? Oh, there were several different things that could cause you to lose hair. Illnesses can cause you to lose hair. And when it's an illness type of thing, which is COVID is, the body tends to let hair and your extremities go to protect your organs. And so basically that's part of the reason why we lose the hair. Now, this, I got to tell you, all of these side effects don't really start until about a month to 2 months-ish after that initial shock, whatever the shock is, whether it be illness, an accident, or whatever. And Herbert and I are going through the exact same thing. Now, when I say losing hair, when I'm talking about thinning hair, okay, let me put it this way. I've been natural. I wear my hair natural. And my hair has been natural for over 20 years. And yeah, I kind of have become what I consider a lazy natural. And what I mean by a lazy natural is I'll get to a point to where I'll wash my hair maybe once a week. And especially during this whole COVID thing, I'll put it up in a bun. I'm wearing it down because, today's my husband's birthday and he kind of likes my hair. But anyway, when I'm saying losing hair, I want you to pay attention, please. 2 weeks ago, I washed my hair. And up until that point, I felt a little itchy, nothing really big. I noticed I was losing a little extra hair. Didn't really bother me because I tend to lose hair seasonally. It's like the fall is here and I tend to lose a little extra hair when fall happens, when spring happens. It's just something that my body does. This time, 2 weeks ago, I washed my hair. And I lost this amount of hair. Here, let me put it next to my cheek and give you I lost this amount of hair. This is just one washing. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. No, this is not a tribble and I'm trying to lie and say it's my hair. No, I'm serious. This is what I lost 2 weeks ago. Then, last week, I lost this amount of hair. Just so that you don't think I picked up the first one. I'm telling you, this was last week. 2 last week. Hair. Yes. I washed my hair yesterday. Yeah. Washed my hair yesterday. I washed my hair yesterday. And all of this next to my face, give you a better perspective. All of this came out. This time, when I had my hair up in a bun, I remember waking up and I touched my hair and it felt like a mat. I mean, like somebody had cut out a piece of rug and put it on my head. It felt like a mat. And all of this came out. All of this came out in one washing. Now, when I say washing, I tend to use a lot of conditioner when I wash my hair. And my process is this. I will put conditioner in my hair, lots of it. And then, yep, there I go, itching again. And then I will add shampoo on top of the conditioner, rinse that all out, and then I will do, put in my leave-ins and that type of thing. Just so that you guys, I lost all of this in less than 3 weeks. In less than 3 weeks, all of this. Did it surprise me? Not really. Because, back when I gave birth to our son, I lost hair during that time. Not that much, but I lost hair during that time. It wasn't anything that was really shocking or upsetting to me. Because, see, I'm a type of person like this. I tend to look to the spirit of a person. What you're looking at, this right here, is just a target for you to focus in on so that we can have a conversation. So anyway, if push comes to shove, if I lose so much hair that it looks really, really bad, what I'll probably do is shave it all off and start wearing a henna crown. Yeah. I'd put a henna crown on. I sure would. Oh, and I can use face paint and color it in. That would be something nice. I just hope I have a nice shaped head, It wouldn't be, I don't know. I'm not even sure how my head is shaped. But anyway. But yeah, a henna crown is kind of nice. I think they're beautiful. But anyway, yeah, Herbert is doing the same thing. His hair has thinned out to where you can, at certain times of the day, depending on the lighting and all like that, you can literally see his scalp. But it's coming out all over. It's not just, a spot here, a spot here, a spot. It's coming out all over. And when I say all over, I mean all over. Yes. So it is a definite side effect of the COVID. And like I said, I talked to our doctor, and she suggested to use the Rogaine and that type of thing. But once I read into it, it was like it takes like 4 months before it kicks in or before you see results or something like that. But usually this process takes about 4 months anyway. So, hey, it's called life. It's called life. You either roll with the punches and figure out how to make lemonade out of lemons, or you give up on it And I hope and pray none of y'all give up on it, because life is too precious. People around you are precious. But anyway, I said about the memory fog, and yes. Oh, and the county called. Yeah, the county called to check up on me. And they finally linked Herbert to me. So the county, Harris County, is keeping track of the COVID people. So we are one of those numbers that you see popping up on the news at night. Yeah. So what else did I want to talk about? Well, anyway, that pretty much covers it. That pretty much covers it, yeah. Now, in regards to this whole COVID thing, oh, there was a tip that I wanted to give you. That's right, there was a tip I wanted to give you. And my tip is this. Since we have to wash our hands so often, and a lot of people are using paper towels, and some people are complaining that their towels are wet all the time and they have to wash them more often and all that other kind of stuff. Here's my tip. I went to Sam's and I bought a bundle of washcloths. And I think they're like $24.25 in the bundle for like $13 and some change. And instead of constantly drying our hands on the towels, we just use these washcloths to dry our hands. And I just stack them up next to the sink and wash them. And it saves a tree. So we're not using paper towels and that type of thing, you know? And like I said, that's a little tip, just a little tip. But anyway, like I said, about this COVID thing, please understand, everybody's still OJTing over this virus. And it seems to be getting clearer as to the goods and the bads of this virus. Not so many goods. Well, the new medicines that are coming out are the goods, I would imagine. But also, there was another thing. Yeah, there was another thing. When the county called and talked to me about how I was feeling and what all was going through, and I talked to them about the side effects, the guy sat there and he told us to stay healthy and continue to be careful because we can be reinfected. So that's what the county of Harris County is telling the COVID victims. It is possible to get reinfected. It's not just a one-type person from what I'm understanding. But then again, why take the risk? Now, Herbert and I, we're still stripping at the door, and, you know, when we go out, we come home, we strip at the door. We go take a shower and wash the clothes immediately. And we're doing everything that we possibly can to keep the COVID out of the house. We have things delivered to our home. I rarely go to the store. I mean, if I go to the store twice in a month, that's a lot. That's a lot. So anyway, we're doing okay. We're doing all right under the circumstances. And I hope and pray that all of you guys are doing all right too. I really do want everyone to win. I want everyone to win. Some of us are going to get this COVID, some of us won't. But if we all take care of ourselves, and keep in mind other people, whether they be young or old or anything in between, I really believe that we could get a handle on this COVID a lot faster than what even the doctors are saying. But this time out has definitely taught me that the government is not protecting us, that we have to think for ourselves. And as far as I am concerned, I will do everything in my power to not only protect my loved ones, but everybody that I come in contact with. I will keep my distance. I will cover up. And I will definitely stay home. Because I don't want to hurt anybody. The one thing that I kept thinking about while I was home through my quarantine time was, did I unknowingly affect anyone? Unknowingly. And I hope and pray I didn't. Because what Herbert and I have gone through, I wouldn't wish on anybody. I wouldn't wish on anybody. No one deserves to go through this. Each and every one of us have a role in life. And we are here to complete it. And no one has the right to take it from us. No one has that right. I don't care if they're government, police, your mom, dad, no one has that right. Anybody in authority, none of them. They don't have that right. Not even your religious leader. Yes, I said that. No one has that right to take that from you. You are that important to yourself, to everyone on this planet, and especially to your loved ones. Okay. All in all, Herbert and I, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. And I hope and pray that you are doing okay as well, if not better. May all of your happy dreams and wishes come true, and that every penny you ever spent comes back to you. If no one has told you today that they love you, I love you. Until next time.